slender. He's scary. He isn't very hairy. He's a man with a plan. He wants to kill and he can. Slender Man. Oh, Slender Man. It's my ode to Slender Man there. Hello and welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we are back with a part 2 to the top 10 Slender Man Urban Legends. Now, you guys were all about a part 1, so I am bringing you the hotly anticipated sequel, even though Slender Man really scares me. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys if you believe in Slender Man, or better still, have you ever had an experience with the spindly fellow? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, while you're there, why don't you hit that thumbs up button and share this video with a friend. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my link is in the description box. We have a horrible tale at number 10. We have dead rats on the wall. This story is so messed up. This whole saga was posted on Reddit No Sleep a few years ago by Redditor Moonbay. She went away with her husband to her grandpa's cabin, and on their way up to the country, her husband cracked his classic Slender Man joke. Sure, don't we all love a Slender Man joke? I mean, I guess, until things get scary and then it's categorically not funny. When they got to the cabin, the girl saw scratch marks on one of the sides. Now, it was kind of like someone had dragged a rake across the side of the house. She made a note to tell her grandpa, but assumed it must have been animals. That night she heard something outside, once again like a scratching. Her husband joked again that it was Slender Man, but then said seriously it must be rats, and in the morning he would set up some kind of pest control. It turns out it was indeed rats. Rats nailed to the cabin wall anyway. The husband was a bit concerned, but thinks it was just kids playing a prank. Now, this would have been when I got the F out of there. The next night there is scratching noises and heavy breathing and growling coming from outside the cabin, and the pair both agree to leave at first light. Now, in the morning they step out to a whole menagerie of dead woodland animals strewn around the property. Gross. Not only that, goodbye and thanks for playing is written in blood on the wall. Was it Slender Man or some other woodland killer? Coming into number 9, we have the garage. Incredible Folk 1 posted about an encounter with Slender Man in their garage in Texas, USA. Yes, that is how we say it in England. They admitted that they had read a lot of the No Sleep subreddits and they played the Slender Man video game. One night they said they went out after school to grab a drink and they noticed that their garage smelled a lot like gasoline. They grabbed an Arizona watermelon cocktail, and as they were walking out of the garage they had a growling noise. They looked over their shoulder and that is when they saw it. What is it? Well, that's the question. The Redditor says that what they saw looked a lot like the description of Slender Man, just with no suit. They said it was like looking at a warped naked mannequin with abnormally long arms. They also said that the man's hands were black with an inky shine to them. When he went back to the garage the next day with caution, he took these pictures and these big handprints that he found. He comes through the Xbox at number 8. Something weird happened with an Xbox 5 years ago in Ohio, and then somebody posted to Reddit about their experience in a new house. My bud Da Vinci wrote that their new home had been the location of a murder and a previous reported Slender Man sighting. When this guy's parents were out one evening, he was playing video games online with some friends. Everything was totally fine until he got a text and he put his controller down to read it. When he went to pick up his controller, he noticed that his game character appeared to morph into Slender Man and then stare at him through the screen. Then he said the character started to move in the screen and then it seemed as if it was going to come out. Now, this was when the guy woke up, thank goodness. He saw his clock which said it was 4 AM and he thought, whoa, that's really weird, he must have been asleep at his computer for almost 2 hours. He then noticed that his bedroom door and window were open. Now, he was a bit freaked out and he closed them and went to check on his dog. When he came back into the room, he noticed the clock again. It was 2:16 AM. Weird, he thought it was 4 AM and 2:16 was the time he last remembered playing his game. What was going on? Coming into number 7, we have the Slenderman Tape. Sometimes Slender Man will come for you, and in those times you need to just get out of there. Get out of there exactly is what this one Redditor did when Slendy came for him. Scissor of Venus wrote that in their old hood they saw Slender Man. Tall, slender, black, no face, creepy, sure. After seeing him a few times, he decided, do you know what, I'm done with this neighborhood, I'm gonna move. Good on him, Slender's a creep. When they were at a new home, a village by a mountain, the guy's wife saw something weird in the mountain whilst hiking. hiking. Later, the guy found a tape in a drawer that was seemingly an interview with a child called Jimmy. The kid seemed scared about something, and the tape turned into screaming that, I quote, he said, "He's here, he's here." This Jimmy kid seemed to totally lose it. He then seemed to hallucinate, and the guy listening to the tape also had a hallucination of his very own. He dreamed that Slenderman came to him with his tentacles and that he actually hid his wife and a kid in a mountain cave. He then woke up to hear the kid in the tape screaming. Meet the only group that might be able to stop Slenderman at number 6. We have the Optic Nerve. Optic Nerve are also known as the Organization, the Bureau, and the Anti-S-Walker Unit. This is the legendary group that observes and tracks Slenderman. The Optic Nerve is highly secretive, but the urban legend goes that they're based in Washington and are a government organization, possibly a collaborative outfit between the USA and Germany. The ON is said to have been watching Slenderman for years, and they believe that he is harvesting organs for some kind of greater evil purpose. While the team tracks Slenderman, who they call the Toolman or S-Man, they don't yet know how to neutralize him. We have Slenderman in the fog at number 5. The person from this Reddit post was convinced that Slenderman was just a creepypasta until they encountered him on a foggy night. The sun was setting and it cast a weird bluish light over the fog. The narrator's dog seemed antsy and the cat seemed really weird too, although the pair didn't love each other. When the writer of the Reddit post went into the bathroom, they looked into the mirror and saw something reflected. It seemed that there was a long, tall figure outside looking around. They thought it was just a trick of the light, but when they went out to let the cat out, they noticed that there was a crouched figure by the trees in the garden. As they strained to get a look at what it was, their neighbors came home, lighting up the fog around them with their car headlights. Now the figure then seemed to disappear. What was it? We'll never know. The Cannock Sightings are coming into number 4. In 2015, Slenderman rumors were rife as ever when not one but 4 people reported seeing the spooky figure in and around Cannock in the Midlands of Great Britain. Some swear the sightings were Slenderman, others were convinced it was the lost soul of a ghoul roaming around the old mining town. That being said, 3 of the 4 Slendy sightings were inside a house. Now one witness said that they woke up to see a sphere staring at them in the shadows of their room, and as they got up to investigate, the woman said, and I quote, "As I tried to get out of bed and investigate further, the shadow began to stretch towards the ceiling. It was at that point I found myself faced with the most disgusting and horrific creature imaginable. It was about 8 feet tall and had a white face with razor-sharp fangs." Another household reported that the tall man had fierce red eyes and was wearing a black suit and a hat. The indoor sightings are being explained as the effects of sleep paralysis, but this is just too much of a weird coincidence. Another witness who reported seeing the man outside said that he wore a long black overcoat. What is going on in the middle of England? Coming into number 3, we have the Scottish and Irish folk legends of Fear Dubh. Fear Dubh is a Celtic legend about a dark man, the Black Man, I believe, if that is the most accurate translation. Fear Dubh is said to be a malevolent force that lives in the woods and wears all black. Sounds like someone we know. He's also said to have long, tentacly arms, which he's able to pass off as branches when he wants to be disguised. Now, by disguising himself as a tree, Fear Dubh is able to peep in the windows of children and tap on the glass with the branches. Speaking of branches, we have the legend of the Dutch Takkenmann at number 2. Takkenmann means branch man in Dutch, and the legend is strikingly similar to that of Slenderman, which leads me to think that the many Slenderman-like stories across the world might in some way be connected. We might not have the same name for the menace, but it is eerie how many different cultures have had a similar figure in their local lore. With Takkenmann or branch man, he has legs that resemble thin tree trunks. He's very tall, blending into the woodland. Now with the American and English legend, it's more the arms that are long, but here it's the legs. Still though, it's thought that Takkenmann shares some key similarities with the German legend of Langermann, long man. They're both creepy woodland dwellers that appear to show up in the background of seemingly normal pictures. Finally at number 1, we have the legend of what actually happens to you before Slenderman gets you. We have Slender Sickness. Those stalked by Slenderman have been known to contract what the internet is calling Slender Sickness. This sickness presents itself in coughing and sneezing fits, then leads to coughing and vomiting blood. It's also characterized by extreme exhaustion, paranoia, nausea, fever, nosebleeds, and a lot of short-term memory loss. Not ideal. The Slender Wikia explains this sickness is sigma radiation, so basically radiation poisoning. This apparently is contracted by being too close to the slender chap. Apparently the illness gets worse the more you you spot him. If you do have these symptoms in real life though, I think maybe do see a doctor and don't let old Slendy Wickier diagnose you. So guys, that was the top 10 Slenderman urban legends. Once again, do let me know if you believe in Slenderman. Now before I go, I just want to read some of your comments from part 1 very quickly. You had loads to say. Mike Peugeot said, I do believe Slenderman is real because my mum said that she had one of her friends kidnapped by him. I liked the video. Well, I mean, I guess peaks and troughs and swings and roundabouts, like bad news about your mum's mate, but great for liking the video. Good on you. I love this comment. Ashley Allison said, my son gave the screen a kiss because I told him that Rebecca was scared. So cute. This is really cute. Thank you to your son. I think anything we can get through this together, you'll need to just start kissing your screens and maybe we'll leave some garlic out for Slenderman. Neil Harshall said, no offense Rebecca, but this video would have been more scary if Danny Burke hosted it. You know what, I'm not offended, he's a very scary guy. Finally, Aisling Hagen said, I don't believe in him, but one time I had a dream I was walking out of school and there was a tall black figure looking at me through the trees. He had no face and this was before I knew the tale of Slenderman. Weird dream. A very weird dream indeed. And actually, a lot of people do dream of Slenderman before they see him, although in my opinion, he's not real. So guys, do let me know what you thought to this video. Do you believe in Slenderman? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, do let me know what urban legends you would like us to film next. For now, I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. Make sure you leave a good thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and stay subscribed for more most amazing lists. Bye!